Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here today. Imagine that you are on death row, but innocent of any crime, clinging to the hope that the legion of supporters working on your case will achieve a breakthrough before it's too late. You prepare yourself for an update on their campaign. Yet nothing in your recurring nightmares can hold a candle to the news you are about to hear. A representative, speaking on behalf of a cadre of marquee advocacy groups, informs you that your closet-sized living area will be expanded by 1 square foot, and the quality of your food will soon be improved. She also reports that when the time comes, care will be taken to provide you with a less painful method of execution. When you press her about efforts to secure your release, she confesses that she and her peers have adopted a more pragmatic philosophy, assigning a growing percentage of their resources to programs designed to alleviate, quote, unnecessary suffering, while distancing themselves from the goal of saving lives. The aforementioned scenario does not in any way represent the real-world commitment of those seeking justice for men and women who've been wrongly incarcerated. However, it does bear a striking resemblance to the transformation that's taken place in the mainstream animal rights movement. To put this in perspective, when I first became an activist almost 30 years ago, this movement wasn't very complicated. Animals' lives mattered to them, and that's all we needed to know. Our message was urgent, direct, and clear. End animal exploitation. Don't enslave them, don't kill them. Our guiding principles, nonviolence, unconditional compassion, and liberation, were also easy to understand. And it didn't hurt to have ethics, morality, justice, as well as the teachings of Gandhi and Buddha on our side. Soon the public started paying attention. Animal liberation became part of society's lexicon. Change, slow as it may be, seemed possible. Then in the early 2000s, the ground beneath our movement's foundation began to shift. At first, it was subtle. But by the end of the decade, something akin to an invasion of the body snatchers had taken place. Seemingly overnight, the handbook of animal rights had been rewritten, showing compassion and respect for animals, long a battle cry for their freedom, now translated into marginally improved living conditions for doomed creatures imprisoned in laboratories and the food industry. Similarly, collaboration with corporations that make their fortunes killing animals became an acceptable strategy, as did replacing the previously unassailable precept of nonviolence with the perversely oxymoronic humane farming and humane slaughter. In short, animal welfare had become the new animal rights. To be sure, there are a handful of organizations as well as a healthy portion of activists who've stayed true to their core beliefs. But a growing number, including many with the highest public profiles, have not only embraced the emphasis on welfare over rights, they've led the way. By blurring the distinction between these two doctrines, our movement's founding message of ending all forms of animal exploitation has been profoundly diluted, thereby diminishing its impact on the public. And billions of animals pay the price. Having worked in a number of social justice movements over the years, it doesn't surprise me to see this happen to us. Movements in their infancy generally start out with a flourish, conveying their convictions in no uncertain terms. However, after establishing themselves, some experience a unique kind of fear, as in fear of driving away present or future supporters by asking, quote, too much from them. This strategy is based upon the premise that we should bring people along slowly. After all, they say, change is incremental. And so don't eat, wear, or experiment on becomes cage-free, free range, etc., etc. The irony, of course, is that more often than not, change is incremental. But that doesn't mean a movement should water down its message. In fact, it calls for just the opposite. Case in point, civil rights leaders didn't just ask for a seat at the lunch counter. They demanded full equality in society. If the purpose of our movement is to end the enslavement and killing of animals, then we too need to make our intention crystal clear by placing our goal front and center of every single one of our campaigns. Doing so, of course, means that we need to trust rather than underestimate our audience's capacity to make significant changes in their lives. It also means we need to be honest with them about exactly what we want them to do, such as becoming vegan instead of occasionally eating a veggie burger. My confidence in this strategy has been reinforced by the feedback I've received from scores of students who've attended reality-based presentations of mine, be they collegians who've discovered they no longer want to participate in the killing of animals, or children who routinely express their innate compassion and sense of justice while voicing their outrage over animal exploitation. Seared into my memory are the words of a 9-year-old girl who proclaimed, "We should rip hunting season right off the calendar." The bottom line in all of this is that the path to animal liberation begins and ends with the truth, both ours and theirs. Accordingly, if you believe in freedom for animals, instead of giving them more room to die, if you wish to see corporations that profit from the slaughter of animals fade away instead of being anointed partners in the movement, if you believe in ending the enslavement and killing of animals, then use your skills, passion, and creativity to ensure that the goal of abolishing all forms of animal exploitation is front and center of every one of our campaigns. Together, we can put animal rights back into the animal rights movement. Thank you.